stage of selection, which is group discussion, or VAT or group exercise, followed by personal interview. And this is very important stage wherein the interviewer checks you as a person, checks you as a team. So today Rita ma'am is going to guide you all, and this will be your first session on introduction for group discussion personal interview. Hi Rita ma'am, how are you? Ma'am, you are.
Ma'am, please unmute yourself. Ma'am.
Oh, hi, Mr. Vishesh. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, so students, Rita ma'am will guide you today, and she has ample amount of experience. So I don't want to be a one-way session. Please ask queries, please ask questions, and do not take this session only as if you are going to go and join a B school. Also think as if you are going to apply for a job and what questions they may ask. So Rita ma'am will obviously guide you all, but if you have any queries, please ask. Okay, ma'am. Ratan sir, anything that you want to
yes,
add?
Sir. Yeah, a very good afternoon and warm welcome to all present here for the student development program on the theme group discussion and personal interview. So student, before I and we all proceed further, let me introduce the guest speaker for today's webinar, Dr. Rita Rangnekar ma'am. Dr. Rita Rangnekar is the Dean IBSAT at ICFI Business School, Mumbai, and has 30 years of corporate and academic experience. She has worked with Datamatics Technologies Limited, Crossland Research Labs, Ranbaxy, Mahindra Guest Line, Day Holidays and Resorts, a PhD in Management and University Gold Medalist in Personal Management and English Literature. Her area of specialization include Human Resource Management, Business Communication, Soft Skill, and Emotional Intelligence. As a corporate trainer, she has delivered several behavioral and communication skills training for top companies such as BPCL, FICCI, LIC of India, Reliance Industries, and many more. She has been awarded Best Faculty for Institution Building at IBS in 2017 and 2013. Ma'am, may I now invite you to address the gathering? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ratandeep. Thank you very much. And thank you so much, Mr. Vishesh, for having invited me and Ratandeep here for this session today. It is always a pleasure. It is always a pleasure to meet up with management aspirants, management study aspirations. And I guess all my dear students over here are looking forward to higher studies and to make it big in the world of work, or let's call it corporate work. Am I right? And therefore, very good afternoon to all of you, my dear students. And henceforth, I will speak to you as, refer to you as friends more than students, so that there is a connect. And that way we would be able to exchange ideas and speak to each other. So can I have a couple of good afternoons at least, friends? At least a couple of... Hi,
good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Wow. Now that sounds human. You know, it feels like, yes, there is some feeling and that there is human interaction, right? And why I'm speaking to you about this is because we are going to be speaking about the group discussion and we are going to be speaking about the interview. Both of these, friends, are human processes. They are human processes. They are not determined by artificial intelligence. They are not done by robots. There are real people on both the sides. The interviewer, the interviewee, and when you speak of a group discussion, there are human beings there. 10 or 11 or 8 or 5. It's an interaction. It's a conversation between people. Either two people when you say interview, and a group or a set of people when you say, when you call it a group discussion, right? Having said that, for me to warm up and for me to understand what your expectations are out of this session and wanting to speak about group discussion, if you can, just one or two of you, if you can tell me what exactly do you wish to clarify about the group discussion, so that we can start off from there. Just one or two questions, and then we'll see how to get about those. Over to you, friends. Usually they take questions after the session. I want to start with questions at the beginning of the session. So over to you. Anyone?
Ma'am, I have a question here.
Yes, Dharangini, tell me.
Ma'am, it is said that sometimes when you lead a particular group discussion or something like that, you get even better marks. But then if you say this technique is if known by a lot of people, obviously not everybody can lead the group. So the one who is not leading the group but is trying to also be a part of it and handling the group but not as a leader, could that also be counted in groups in group session or group discussion sessions?
Okay. Dharangini, when you say lead the group, are you referring to being the first person to start the discussion?
Yes, and also that once, for example, the person says that we should probably go through this first, and then again after that says that what should we do next, is what I meant by leading the group.
Okay, so somebody who is taking the discussion to a certain direction and getting everybody to talk. That's what you're talking about? Yes. Okay. I've noted this question. I'll come back to you. All right. So leading the discussion is what Dharangini wants to know. All right. One more. I can take one more or even two more. Over to you. Priyal. Priyal has unmuted herself. So I think.
Yes, ma'am. So I wanted to ask if there's a topic which we get in a group discussion, which we are very little aware of or absolutely not aware of the thing which is happening around the world about that topic. So what should we do in that situation? Because we can't sit like totally idle in front of the panel. So what should we do in that case? Okay. So don't know the topic or have not read much about the topic. You're not familiar with the subject. Okay. Yes. Very, very critical aspect, because you can't have read everything in this world and suddenly you will be thrown with this. Yeah. So this is one question. Second is about not knowing the topic. I can see someone, Keyur has unmuted himself and I can see him too. Good morning. Good afternoon, ma'am. Tell me, what's your
actually,
question?
I wanted to ask if our points are clear in a discussion, but we are not able to connect to it very clearly. So, and if we get into a very discontentment, so that my point of view is right or her point of view is not right. So how to clarify it in a better way so that everyone gets our point very clear. I mean to say that if it's my point of view is right or hers, but I want to just say it, no, it was just not a statement. It was a perfect point. So how to set up that point in a group discussion?
All right. So Keyur, the way I understand what your doubt is, that you wish to make a point, you wish to state that my point is correct, or rather your point is correct, what you have made, your opinion is correct, but the others are not willing to accept it as the right point of view. Is that your question? And you want to still prove to people that your point is correct. Am I right? Okay. Thank you for this question. And that, in fact, your question gives me a lead on, the main thing that one wants to discuss today, which is a discussion, or when you say group discussion, about pushing your point through to the other person, or is it about taking everybody along in the discussion and ensuring that everyone gets heard and all points are discussed in all ways. All right. So friends, today I'll go a little untraditionally, if that's the right kind of word. I will start by answering these three questions, lest I forget and lest they don't get clarified. So last in, first out, I will start with Keyur's question, because this actually gives us a platform on which to have today's discussion. Now, Keyur and all my friends out here, remember that this is we are speaking about a group discussion and not a debate. So I always say that there are three types of conversations. All these three are corporate or formal conversations, which is the first one is the discussion. So when you say discussion, it's about everyone expressing their viewpoint, or everyone expressing whatever they know and whatever they have, whatever is in their mind about a particular topic. Let's say whatever it is. Let's say take something as basic as social distancing today, whatever people feel about it and whatever everyone says. It is an exchange of ideas. Okay, you remember. It's an exchange of ideas. So no one person can be correct. You could be correct and the other person also could be correct. So if you have heard of this word called being graceful, have you heard of this word called being graceful? So very graciously or very gracefully or with a lot of grace and maturity and dignity, you listen to the other person and accept that other person's point of view. And if the other person has expressed that, no, I feel that social isolation leads to depression, let's say, for example, and if you feel that social isolation does not lead to depression, both of you can have, now I come to the next point, you say what you call as a dialogue. A dialogue. What's a dialogue? Keyur, what is a dialogue?
Exchange of a proper word.
Exchange of a proper, where two people are having a conversation on an issue, on a topic or on an issue, and you are engaged, locked in the discussion. And that's why we watch movies, correct? Why do we watch movies? Because we like the way people are locked in discussion with each other or locked in the dialogue. And there is feeling also over there. All right. So when two people have different points of view to express about the same topic, it is nice to convert that discussion into a dialogue between people. Come on, you say something. You say something. Let's all bring together all our points and paraphrase those. What do you mean by paraphrase or summarize? Now, somebody asked me about taking the lead and not knowing enough of the topic. Was that Priyal? So, Priyal, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, you also hang on there. Priyal, what was your question? Your question was, I don't know anything about the topic and I have not read much about it, but here I am saddled with a topic and I don't know how to go forward. Now, taking a cue from what Keyur's question was. Keyur has a point of view, and who was the first one? Dharangini has a point of view. Both of them are talking, and maybe two others in the discussion are also speaking. What do you gather from that, Priyal? What can you take away from that?
Ma'am, probably I can build a point of view from the discussion.
You can build a point of view, but before building a point of view, you will also get some information over there. Because when they are talking, you also understand, oh, the topic is about social isolation with regard to COVID, or maybe it also with regard to so many other diseases, not only with COVID. All right. Okay. Or social isolation could also be something where a person is going through because somebody has put that person through social isolation. So from Keyur's question, we get Priyal's answer. Right, Priyal? If you don't know anything about the topic, listen to the rest of the group. Listen to all of them and you will get a lot of points from there. Now, you'll ask me, should I imitate someone or should I copy somebody else's point of view? Remember everyone. And now I come to Dharangini's question. Dharangini's question, which was, she said, should I always be the one to lead the question, lead the discussion? So when you say leading the discussion, it is about enabling everybody to speak in the discussion and also ensuring that you exchange points, allow everybody to exchange whatever information you have about a particular topic, and thereby you enable everyone to listen to each other and engage in a discussion. Now coming to your question again, Keyur, this is about a discussion. It is not about a debate. So what were the three things that we spoke about? Discussion, dialogue, and debate. A group discussion does not involve telling the other people that only I am correct and that you are wrong. Got it, Keyur? Got it? In a group discussion, it is, I like to give this topic, this example or this analogy over and over again. If you play football or if you play any match or game which involves, looking at that ball from all directions, right? So it's like playing football. You have to be all over the field. You can't be in only one place. If you are only in one place, you will not be able to look at the game from or play the game from all perspectives. So did you all get your answer over there? Did all of you get your answer? Now, first point, we said, Dharangini, you don't always have to lead the discussion. You don't always have to lead the discussion. As important as it is to lead the discussion, Dharangini, it is important to participate in the discussion. It is very important that you also come across as a team player. And being a team player means once in a while, you listen to the other person, you take somebody else's point of view and also agree to the other person's point of view. So it's very nice to gracefully say, I agree with you, my friend, on this particular point, and you have made a very good point. Now, allow me to also express what I know about this topic. All right. So do you get your answer there, Dharangini? Do you get your answer? Yes? Okay. Now, with that in mind, with having answered, all right, let's now get to the session or to our main point, which we are going to be looking at. How can we do well in our group discussion and in our personal interview? Now, friends, I just want to tell you how we are going to go about this this entire session today. And I'd like to know from all of you whether you want to do the group discussion first or you want me to tell you about the group discussion and personal interview and then have a mock session. How would you like to do it? And I would like to have Mr. Vishesh's opinion also on this. So should we have the discussion first and then speak about it? Or do you want me to tell you about it and then have a practice GDN interview? Over to you, friends. Over to you. Okay, so nobody wants to say anything? Then let me start in the traditional way. And I hope by the end of the session, by the middle of the session, we will all be able to talk and participate also. All right. Now, a few things which I want to tell you about a group discussion. I've already told you that this is about a discussion. So when you say discussion, some attributes about a GD are very, very important. I will be showing you the slides. I will be showing you the slides and written down the parameters. But first of all, I would like to ask from this group of friends over here, what can you see here in this group? What can you see in these set of people who are obviously, what are they doing? What are they doing? I can see Keyur is unmuted. Somebody else is also unmuted. Tell me. I'm
Group
waiting to
discussion.
listen. It's a group discussion. They are discussing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, they're discussing. All right, beautiful. What can you see about this set of people? How many are there? Tell me, I'm waiting, dying to listen to all of you. What can you see? Come on.
They're attentively listening and discussing about the issue.
Okay, they are attentively. Priyal says attentive. What a beautiful word. I've written that down that over here. And how do you know that they are attentive? What tells you about them that they are attending to the discussion, attentive, listening?
Because, ma'am, they are.
Yes.
Because, ma'am, we can see that everyone by their nature and body language, it is clearly seen that they are all focused and they all want to put forward their point in the group discussion, but in a proper manner.
Yes.
No one is forcefully doing it. So it's seen that, yes, they are ready for this group discussion and they want to go ahead, but with everybody, not alone.
How nicely expressed, Kev. How nicely expressed. One, you made a point saying nobody is forcing them to talk. They are speaking and they are participating out of their own volition. And their body language shows that. I can see Sunny Singh has already put a comment. He says their body language. Can somebody describe their body language? Can we elaborate a little? Bolo? Yes, yes.
It seems to be that they are having a very friendly discussion, or probably a discussion where everybody is participating mutually.
Okay, yes, you can see that there is friendliness. Now, where can you see the friendliness? You're right. But can you describe? Bolo? Yes. And tell me your names, because I can't see who's talking here. It would be nice to know your name also. Tell me.
Ma'am, Priyal Valota.
Priya.
Ma'am, we can guess the fact that they are attentive and listening to each other by seeing that they are leaning forward and actually listening to each other's point of view. What are they talking? Also, the fact that they have a pen and paper in their hand and they are noting the things down, we can easily find out that they are actually interested in what discussion is going on.
Yes. Their pen and paper or their general overall approach to this entire group, slightly leaning forward, at the same time not slouched. The shoulders are straight, but they are all inclined to listening to each other. Anything else? Yes, you said that they're noting down, they are attentive, they are paying attention, they have not been forced. Something else? One more. Can you add to that, Priyal? Can you add one more point?
The smile on their face.
Yes, they are happy to be there. They're very happy to be there, and that smile does not show any kind of fakeness. It is genuine. It is coming straight from the heart, which means that whatever is being discussed is something that they are beginning to like discussing. Thank you. Thank you for that. And that's where we said a few points about the group discussion, enjoying the discussion. Harshit says, and equal participation. What beautiful words you all have all put in. In fact, I don't need to tell you all at all. So points. Point number 1 about participating in a group discussion. And I feel that that's the most important one. Be happy to be there. All of you all said that they're enjoying. So enjoy the discussion. I always give this example, which is at the most, what can happen? At the most, what can happen? What's the worst that can happen? You will not get selected. Does not matter. At least out of those 15 minutes of discussion, you came out learning something and having established a relationship, maybe with 10 other strangers who are there, and maybe one of them becomes your friend and you walk out becoming a friend with one of those people. All right. And therefore, be happy to be in the group discussion. Enjoy the discussion and learn from the other participants. That's one. Number 3, smile. And when I say smile, Smile genuinely. Do not paste a fake smile on your face just because you have to look like a pleasant person. The smile has to come from within you, right? Study the topic. Study the topic, and study the topic by listening to each other. And again, now I'm going to be telling you how to prepare for a group discussion, which is whenever you know that you're supposed to be participating in a group discussion and you're going to be testing, I always say, start your preparation from the day you know that you have to actually participate in the discussion, which means that you'll pick up all the newspapers. You will listen to all the news. You will read up your study book. You will dig deeper into any subject that you are exposed to. Don't just leave it at fake value. This morning I was reading that of late media says that short span news is becoming very, very popular. Why? Because people don't want to focus on one topic for a very long time. So people want snippets. But let me tell you, my friends, if you are supposed to crack a group discussion or appear for an interview, and this is not there in the slide mentioned over there, this is something that I'm telling you, and remember this. Never look at a topic at face value. Are you getting, my friends, what I'm saying? Whenever you are exposed to anything new, any new topic, we will be discussing some topics over here. If you have the time and if you have the wherewithal, go deeper into the topic and find out a few points and keep a daily diary with you like this. Keep a daily diary, make your points. Make your points. You never know when that point will come of use to you. And remember something that especially since all of you are aspiring for top management colleges, when you discuss a topic, don't just discuss what you know about the topic. Analyze that. Also, whenever you look at a bit of news, something new that is coming up in the headlines or in the news, ask yourself, in what shape will that topic be asked to me or be given to me as a group discussion topic? So every bit of news that you read, there is a hidden group discussion topic over there. Every bit, I repeat, every bit of news that you read or every happening that you read, there is a hidden group discussion, or there could be 2 or 3 group discussion topics that could be hidden in that. So you have to ask yourself at the end of the day, today I read so much of news. From that, what are the possibilities for GD topics that I could be asked? All right. So that's what we are talking about now. So for example, there was a terror attack outside Kabul airport last night, and that is there in the headlines. Terror attack outside Kabul airport last evening. I have the Times of India here in front of me. Now you tell me, what are the possible group discussion topics that could arise, which are not nationalist, which are not controversial, which have nothing to do with religion, and which has nothing to do with racism or anything that has to do with slander. Over to you, friends. What are the possible topics that you could get with regard to yesterday's Kabul terror attack? Or the other piece of news says, let me give you something more simple. It says half of India's adults have now at least got 1 dose of vaccine. So almost 50% of India has been vaccinated at least for 1 dose. What could be a possible topic? Come on, think. Come on, think, tell me. I'm waiting. What are the possible topics? So let me tell you one. You could get a topic like, let's say, India's vaccination drive or efficacy of Indian vaccine, management of vaccines. All right. You can put some topics in the chat box. Okay. You can put your possible topics in the chat box if you feel you do not wish to talk. If you feel you do not wish to talk. But think about it. Preparation for a group discussion starts by expanding or increasing your reading quotient, and not only by reading your reading quotient, also by taking every occasion or every opportunity that you get to discuss that topic. So therefore, I always tell people, whenever you read a bit of news, immediately call up your friend. Now that all of you are in isolation or studying from home, immediately call up your friend and say, hey, look, this is the topic in the newspaper. Can we discuss this for 2 minutes? And can we discuss this on a neutral ground? So one more point, which is very important, note that down in your diary or whatever you have next to you. When you are in a group discussion, never get into a controversial discussion. So even if it's a piece of news, stay away from political discussions, stay away from bringing religion into the topic, stay away from bringing things such as caste, nationality, community, and anything that can ignite any kind of controversy or strong emotions in the discussion. All right. Yeah, Priyal, you have raised your hand. You've raised your hand. Come on, what do you have to say?
Yes, ma'am. So I had a doubt regarding this.
Yeah.
You said we have to make sure that we don't indulge in any controversy or racism and all that stuff.
Yes.
So, like you said, if there's any topic related to terrorism or like now the fresh topic of Taliban attacking the Kabul and all those things. So in these things, somewhere or the other, the terrorism and all those things will come in the discussion. So how can we avoid talking about such things?
The best thing to do is never take sides. Do not take sides. All right. Do not refer by name to any terrorist group as far as possible. And secondly, think of solutions. Always provide solutions. In a group discussion, people who provide options and give something unique and futuristic are the ones who are always noticed first. And very important, now you can see in front of you, Priyal, that you've said in your communication skills or all the leadership factors, temperament is very important. Can you see at the bottom, point number 9,
yes,
temperament, which you're talking about your personality, anger or strong emotions are something that can bring you negative points. So when you take a side or when you start getting heated up about something, you may start dominating the group. And that is why, as far as possible, keep neutral language, keep positive language, and keep clean, good language. Do not use words that are abrasive or which are angry or which denote emotions or that you're taking some particular side. All right. Are you getting this? Now, terrorism is not confined to any one particular country. Terrorism is a global issue. Correct, Priya? Okay. So you can take it on the global level, and then you can talk about positive aspects such as disarmament, world peace. Okay. And then when you talk of world peace, automatically the discussion moves from terrorism to world peace, and then you bring it back to how to overcome terrorism. All right. Yeah. Yeah, Keyur, you have a question. You have your question. We'll quickly take your question. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. It's many times it is seen in a group discussion that when we just communicate, as you have said, ma'am, that in communication skills, listening skills, and expressions are most important. Sometimes it is, ma'am, very much seen that when we communicate from our side, but our expressions don't get connected to that point. So we can say that Kabul airport attack, you gave us the point.
Okay. For some time, let us keep this topic aside. Keyur, when I speak to you about the attributes tested in the group discussion, your question will be automatically answered. Okay. Yeah. So we'll keep this just for 2 minutes. I'll come back to you. Sorry about that, but just 2 minutes. Hang on there. I'll come back to you. All right. So what we're talking about over here, Keyur and everybody else, the entire set of students over here. Now, look at what is tested. Now, a group discussion is when a set of people are sitting together. Either it could be in a circle or it could be in a U shape, right? What are we looking at? What is the assessor looking at? I will start with the third point here, which is your communication skills. Can you participate or can you actively speak in a group? And that is where I've said listening skills, first of all. Now, when you say listening skills, everybody has a valuable contribution to make. Are you respecting that? Is what we want to see. After having listened to what the other person has said, you are talking about expression. So when you say expression, and that is where Keyur we are talking about, a very important aspect. Now see how your question is getting answered over here. A very important aspect is how well, through your tone, through your confidence, and through your assertiveness, are you able to convince the other person in a very respectable manner. So it's also about persuasion and convincing. And that's where, you have to go along. Come on, my dear friend, I'm sure you would agree that terrorism is bad for the world. Right? And that is how you engage, by using your best persuasive skills. What do I mean by persuasive skills? What would you mean by that? Keyur, over to you. When you say persuasion or convincing ability, tell me.
In a way where we can express that, yes, this is our point.
Yes.
So everyone accepts it or takes it in a positive manner.
Yeah, I will give you one more suggestion over here. Whenever you supplement your point of view with evidence or with statistics, so provide evidence, and you would say, I read in an article in the Times of India yesterday morning or on April 27th, or I read an article in the Economic Times on 1st of August, wherein it said this, this, and this. Then people begin to take you seriously. And then they want to listen to you, the rest of the group. But the same thing, if you say, no, your point is wrong, I know because I have read in the Times of India. No. Friends, I would like to draw your attention to this particular article that I read in the Times of India yesterday. It's a very interesting article and very relevant for this particular topic. In your best tone, when you speak in good English, then people feel like listening to you. And that's where I say influencing communication. Influencing communication, where you are able to win over or engage the other person by making the other person feel important, at the same time expressing your point of view in a very assertive way. All right, Keyur? So that's your answer for you, and that's for the rest of the class. So what are the 4 things that we're looking at over here? The value of your contribution, what you have read and how well you're expressed, how much knowledge do you have, go deeper into the topic. Are you looking or are you pushing the topic just like that into people's face? Or are you also analyzing it and looking at it just like you're playing football? What initiative are you taking? Now, one point that I want to make over here, and this is actually for Dharangini, because she spoke about leading the discussion. Most of the time we feel that when we are the first people to talk and we speak a lot during the discussion, we show leadership. In a group discussion, you can come in about 3 to 4 times. Come in about 3 to 4 times. Sometimes we feel, okay, I spoke for the first 5 minutes and I have done my bit and I will sit back and relax now. Let the other people talk. that does not show mental stamina, as is written here in the slide. Then initiative, sometimes we feel that if I'm the first person to talk, then I have taken initiative. You may want to come in a little later after other people have spoken, listened with care to what other people have said, and then paraphrase the discussion. That might be an indication of initiative, as against being in a hurry to be the first person to speak in a group discussion. All right. And one very important point, very, very important point, and I hope everybody is listening, because this is one question which is asked all the time. Okay, what if I express a point of view now, and later on I want to change my point of view? Okay. Now, the best way to avoid this is never take a stand in the beginning of the discussion, because later on then you'll be embarrassed to change your point of view. And therefore, always look at the topic from all angles and for the pros and the cons, so that later on you don't feel embarrassed to change your point of view. But at the same time, suppose you've taken a stand already in the beginning, later on, if you wish to change, you might graciously say and very maturely say, after having listened to all of you, I think there is some value in what you have said. May I tweak my, perception a little and also put it across this way. That way, you have won over friends in the discussion. All right. And that's why we say expression in a point. The last one that we're talking about over here is when we are talking about temperament or overall impression. Now, when I say temperament, it's about, are you coming across as a very dominating person? And look, see the body language. If I keep, can you see my hands, all of you? If I keep closed body language where I'm clenching my fist, or when I'm pointing out to people like this with my finger, or when I move my my pen like this with my hand and I'm trying to stop everyone. Can you see my body language now? How do I come across? Am I coming across as an assertive person? You can be honest with me. Tell me. If I keep on doing this, or if I keep on pointing at you, how do I come across? Tell me.
A dominant person.
Ah, thank you for that. Thank you for that. So too much or overt body language, or aggressive body language, or a very dominating tone of voice, pushing your point of view, not letting other people talk, or being the only one thinking, oh my God, what a great speaker am I, right? These things can diminish your chances of getting selected, because in most cases, a group discussion sometimes is an elimination round. It's an elimination round. So when you say elimination round, they may want to see who to leave out or who to reject from the discussion and who to keep. So aggression and too much emotion can actually make you lose out on the discussion. So suggestion is, keep open body language. Do not point out. Do not use your pen or your whatever. Once I had seen a student, a participant, pick up that token. Remember the token? And he was so angry that the other person was not accepting his point of view. He wanted to throw it at somebody else. Never get into something like that. Keep open palms, open body language, straight. Keep your shoulders straight to show confidence. Look at everyone, make eye contact, listen to everyone, show interest in everybody, just the way you have over here. All right. Show interest in everyone, and at the same time, put your points across in a very convincing manner. All right. So see how everyone here is open to participation, right?
Ma'am?
Yeah, I want a group discussion. Yes. Yeah.
Ma'am, I had a question. Can aggressive and emotional conversation lead to controversial conversation?
Yes, it can lead, and it is best avoided. It is best avoided.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, I want to have a 5-minute group discussion, and I would like to have at least 5 people ready to participate. Just a 5-minute group discussion. And come on, be a sport. And I don't want only Keyur and Priyal and Tarangini. I'm sure there are others in the discussion. There are others. Aditi Singh? Aditi Singh?
Yes,
Aditi
ma'am.
Singh, my suggestion is that in a group discussion, never bring in political names, never bring in politics or religion. Stay away from those. Don't even mention those. Okay, this is a very critical point. Do not bring in any politics or religion into your discussion, even if the topic
Ma'am,
demand. Yeah. Yes.
by politics, do you mean the name of certain party?
Yeah. Name of parties, name of people, name of, and if you have to refer to the Prime Minister, do not take names. You say Mr. Prime Minister. Okay, or Mr. Modi, and always speak of them very positively. All right. Yes. Okay. So quickly, one discussion. After that, I will go to the interview. We don't have much time, and we really want to make the most of this session. And therefore, come on, who would like to participate? Who would like to? I'll give you a nice topic. Yeah.
I'd participate.
This is
Priyal.
I will participate, ma'am.
This is Keyur, Priyal, and who else?
Ma'am, even I would like to participate.
Yeah, tell me your name.
Jay.
Jay. So Priyal, Keyur, Jay. Yes, one or two more.
Ma'am, even I would like to participate.
This is Dharangiri. Very good, very good. And two more. One more. We'll take. Tanisha. Okay. Yes. All right. So are you ready? And are you ready to discuss? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop sharing so that I can see the grid. And then after that, again, when I start talking, I'll again share my PowerPoint. Okay. The topic that I will pick up a topic from the PowerPoint itself so that everybody give you a very simple topic. Very, very simple topic. Yes. Let us look at India's performance in the Olympics. India's performance in the Olympics. 5 minutes exactly. I am keeping time, or will someone keep time for me? You can speak for 4 minutes, and 1 minute we can keep for summarizing. All right. Are you familiar with the topic? Are you familiar with India's performance in the Olympics?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. And even if you are not, my suggestion is make an attempt. So, ideally speaking, you're given 1 minute or half a minute to think. But today, because we do not have much time, I would request you to start with the discussion immediately. Over to you, friends. If you can open up your camera, nothing like it. Start.
So I would like to start with the Neera Chopra's performance in the javelin throw, which was a historic performance by India's point of view, because he was the first one, I think, to get a golden medal in terms of javelin throw, which was very positive for India. And in future, there could be a lot of aspirants who would also like to follow the footsteps of Neera Chopra. He's set a very good example for youth.
I would also like to say that as of right now in Olympics, Neeraj Chopra has got a gold medal, which India needed at most to boost the power for the other fellows of his sports, javelin. So that yes, we will follow Neeraj Chopra and we will get more gold medals. But we cannot put aside that other players in Olympic, like our Indian women's hockey team, who defeated Australia and got a bronze medal. Many in ways our men's team also played well. In Olympics, we should, I think, see to it that every player of every country should get an equal attention. according to me, I feel that right now Neeraj Chopra is getting little more attention other than the others because he has got a gold medal. So that should not happen. Here we can see it's only during the 15 August our Honorable Prime Minister PM sir called all the Olympic players and all the other sports cricket players also. But after that, most of the time the media and the other spokesperson already kept talking about Neeraj Chopra. My point is that why we should just see that he has got gold medal. We can also see that the other sport person who got silver, we got in fact most brown medals. I think we have 7 brown medals. So that's also a good achievement in all over the world in Olympics to get a medal. I think first is. So yes, I agree. Neeraj Chopra, he's great. I respect to his gold medal achievement, but I also think that other sports players who got silver and bronze medal, they also should get the equal attention. So I rest my case here.
I completely agree with what both Jai and Kayur have spoken about Indian Olympics, and would also like to point out one thing, that even if India was in lockdown for almost 1.5 years, we still managed to get such gems in the Olympics, and that is actually a commendable job for the athletics, the sports players, because even in the even in even when the country is facing through tensions of COVID-19 and a lot of other aspects and health issues are concerned in the country, they still managed to keep their practice, keep themselves motivated in the not so motivating situation, and have taken a courage to participate in the Olympics, and not just that, but also bagged a bronze medal, silver medal, gold medal. And it's just not about even winning the Olympics, but also to those who've participated, and a big motivation from them as well, because even participating counts a lot. So what I think, for me, Olympics have been really motivating. And right now, when I see news and read about it, it makes me feel that even I can do something, if not at least go to Olympic, if not just Olympics, but I can do something with my life which will actually help me to build myself even in the worst times. That's all I
Uh,
wanted to say.
I definitely agree to Dharangini's point, and also a point which Keul said about the recognition that the players get. I feel somewhere in India, just moving a little forward to the only the games point of view, but I feel in India there is a certain like sense of partiality when we look at the sportsmen of the country. Um, See, if we take the case of Mirabai Chanu, won uh, silver medal for us in the weightlifting. So now, see, first we most of us didn't know who she is, but after she winning the silver medal, the whole of the country now the one reality show called her for chief guest in that show. But I feel she made the efforts and she won silver medal due to her efforts. It was possible that putting the same amount of efforts, if there were more contestants, more equal contestants in the uh, game, she would have come third or fourth. And what I feel is, in India, somewhere there is like we don't give value to the participants of the game, but just we give value to the winners, the top 3 winners of the game. So. I feel like I read in some article in the last Olympics there was a javelin throw player who did not manage to come in the first 3 in the US, but when he returned to his home country, he was very much welcomed by the players. But that doesn't happen in India quite often. Like it happened during women's hockey that I know, but it is not much talked about. The players' dedication or the hard work is not much talked about as it is talked about for the winners.
All right, all right. We have half a minute to summarize. So one of you can take the initiative to summarize the discussion or conclude the discussion. Yeah.
I agree with what all said, and I would like to say that the contribution that each player made is equally important. It is not that those who won the gold medal have done more hard work and those who got bronze have not done anything. The importance is given to all the players, whether they have won or they have lost the game.
Okay, all right. So shall we give everybody a big hand? Shall we give everyone a big hand? I'm just asking the entire group. Okay, I can see that Komal has written something. Komal has written Aditi has, all right. Komal, your point is well taken, but it can also happen sometimes that as a result of when we are talking or when we are excited, we may make a few points. In such a case, if somebody has made a wrong point or somebody has expressed something that is not correct, unless it is very, very damaging, good manners say that you should not point out that person's mistake during that particular discussion. All right, Komal. So as far as possible, if it's something as simple, if it's not going to make, so because in that much time, you will lose your chance to say something new. All right. And therefore, it's okay. Take it along. And maybe later on in a very different way, you can put it across. But never directly tell that person that what you said was wrong. All right. But well done. I want to know from the group, how was your participation? How did you feel you did? Anyone? Tanisha, Priyal, or new people who spoke this time? Jay. Let me actually ask Jay and Tanisha.
Hi, ma'am. Yeah, I
Yes.
would like to share my experience first.
Yeah.
So actually, I thought I did a very brief amount of contribution, but I also agreed to, so my point was like I wanted to throw a light on the positive factors pertaining to Olympics, but I also agreed to what KU and rest of them, mentioned that equal importance or, not giving different kind of stages to different players and attention and everything. But in overall, I liked it. I liked the discussion.
Okay, very good. You liked it? Yes. And lot of different points of view came from everybody. Correct? Tanisha. Tanisha. Yeah.
First, I felt very stressed. But discussing about India's Olympic is more because we don't have much knowledge about that, and we are no one to compare who is better and who is not the better. So I felt very stressed, and I also enjoyed the discussion.
Okay. Okay. Yes, but then you managed to summarize very, very well between everyone. So now, you know what, you all asked me whether if you don't know the points, there is so much that you can take from everyone else, and you can put all that together and make a nice, make a nice combination and a platter for the group discussion. All right, so it's like putting in all the ingredients. Now, do you want to have my feedback?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, yes, ma'am. First, I'll tell you the positives. I'll tell you what, you all did well. One is that we were, the content and the points that came across were very good because it came from all directions. Each one of you had something different to say and put it together in a very beautiful manner. In terms of language, in terms of tone, all of you made a wonderful job, did a very good job, and positive aspiration. I could not see anyone hesitating to say anything because this is something that we were relatively well aware of. All right. Each one of you gave a chance to the other person to speak also. And what I also saw through your tone, through each one's tone, is that you were trying to motivate each other to speak, which is very good. Now, a couple of constructive points which I may suggest, because this is an online group discussion. And remember, because this year probably again, in most cases, all your selection processes, and even if you go for a job interview, all those interviews will also happen online. Am I correct? and your group discussions will also happen online. My suggestion is that increase your speed of talk. So this is not a conversation where we are just talking. This is a timed group discussion, and I gave you 5 minutes. So in 5 minutes, you have to get across a lot and also allow the other person to talk. And therefore, a little more speed in what you're saying. This is what I observed. And I'm sure all the others who are listening to you also, you are welcome to put across your points also. A little more speed, and I would say much more energy. So in terms of, okay, come on, that excitement about Olympics, and for the first time, India has really done well. So that happiness and that excitement has to show in the way we talk, and that's one. And another very important point is that when you start with a group discussion, always start with a good afternoon or a good morning or whatever it is, and then whoever is the first person to speak of, Jay, I hope you get me right over here. Just a half minute of introduction or an overview will help. Okay, it is quite possible that there could be somebody in the group who has not even heard about the Olympics. Very unlikely in the case of Olympics, but somewhere setting a context and then taking the discussion from there. And that's one. And yes, some of us did manage to move out of the Neera Chopra factor, right? But some degree of statistics, if you have to make your group discussion much more valuable in terms of how many medals, which year, or which sport came up as the most powerful, how many players were sent by India to the Olympics, how many came back, where did we rank in the scheme of things? Did someone say that? What was our ranking? Where were we? First, second, third, fourth, whatever. Those kind of statistics or valuable things, if you would have read, then it adds value to the discussion. All right. But having said that, I could see a lot of positive participation. I can go on and on and on about the group discussion, but my big hand to all of you. I know I'm overshooting the time, but I want to do one interview because I want to tell you about interviews. And therefore, who will volunteer for an interview? And now some new people. Yes, Atharva.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Bolo na.
Ma'am, while the group discussion was going on, one ended his point, which I will like to rest my point, and the other said that that's all from my side. What is the better way we can give another person a chance, or can we put forward a question at the end of our point for everyone?
Okay. Till the group discussion is over, you are not rested. Remember this. Okay. So never say anything such as I rested my point, or that that is all from my side. And that is where I'm talking about mental stamina. Now, you cannot say that मैंने मेरा point कर दिया और अभी आप लोग बात करो. I'm moving out of here. That's not done. All right. So the best thing is to say, may I invite my friends to express their points. Or over to you, my dear friends. All right. But what happens, Atharva, is that in most cases, if it's a very heated or if it's a very engaged group discussion, before you have made your point, somebody else is also ready to talk. Ideally, group discussions do become a fish market, right?
Yes,
so before you started talking, the other person has said he's already ready to talk. And that is ideally how a group discussion should happen. Not that by saying, okay, I have made my point, you give it across. Everybody wants that seat. Everybody wants a job. So in all that, everybody would want to be the first persons to talk. Answers your question, Jay, Atharva?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, one more question. Ma'am, should we be frank and enthusiastic, or we should be like formal?
Meaning, can you elaborate? Frank and enthusiastic?
Ma'am, like if someone is mentioned a point, can we be like, yes, I totally agree with your point, and I would like to add on? Yes. Or we should be like too much formal, yes, I agree, and continue.
Ideally,
should we consider them as friends, or should we consider them as some other individual who is applying for the same thing?
consider them as your equals and as your friends. Okay, and
Okay,
therefore, and also, I would say, instead of wasting time saying I agree with your point and all that, you can, through your body language and through your tone, convey to the other person that, look, I agree with you, and here is also something that I wish to add to you. Right? Because you say, I agree with you, however, allow me to express another point of view. Usme kitna time gaya? There's a lot of time gone in that, right? So therefore, quickly establish rapport and express what you add what you want to add.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So,
ma'am, I have a doubt.
Haan, bolo, Priyal.
Yeah, no, ma'am, Shraddha this side.
Shraddha, yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. So, ma'am, I have a doubt. Like, if we have to say a name for like in a discussion, if we have to say a name of any political parties, like Narendra Modi and all, so we can say it, or we should like be honorable Prime Minister and all.
Any third person that you want to speak about in the discussion, or you wish to refer to, whether it is a political personality or whether it is a corporate personality. Let's say you wish to speak about Mr. Ratan Tata or Mr. Mukesh Ambani. Always speak of them with respect and say, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, Mr. Mukesh Ambani. These are all, what happens is, because we talk to them like daily figures, we forget that they are somebody out there. So always speak to them, refer to them with respect and say Mr. So-and-so. Or especially in the case of the Prime Minister, our Honorable Prime Minister. All right? Yeah. Does that answer your question, Shraddha?
Yes, ma'am. And one more doubt, like you told that we have to give some introduction of ourselves. And what if we speak second or third after second or third person? So is it necessary to give an introduction, or we can carry on with the point we have to say?
See, I didn't say that you have to give an introduction of yourself. I said that you have to introduce the topic. For example, friends, we all know that this year the Olympics took place in Tokyo from this date to this date. And I begin my discussion with reference to India's performance in the World Olympics, wherein all of you would have noticed that India did way better than its performance in all the earlier Olympics, or since a particular year. Okay, it's not required to introduce yourself. You can just start by saying, my name is Shraddha. Do not say myself Shraddha, that is wrong English. My name is Shraddha, and then take over from there quickly.
Yes, ma'am. So we can tell this after second or third person, right? It is not necessary if we are saying if we are speaking for.
Definitely, if you're going to be the third person to speak, you also deserve one line of introduction of yourself, right? So you can definitely.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Well, all right. Okay. Now, I'm not going to talk to you about discussion topics, but I also wanted to talk about attributes that are tested in the personal interview. Now, a personal interview, I can't tell you much unless one of you volunteers to be interviewed here. So come on, be a sport. Be a sport. Who would like to? Ratandeep, how much time do we have?
Ma'am, yes,
we've
already
over.
take 5 more minutes, ma'am.
We can take now. We'll do one interview because otherwise, yes. Come on. Okay. All right. If nobody wants to volunteer, there are some things that I wish to tell you. In the next 2 or 3 minutes, I'll tell you about these. And then if you all are still willing, we will take an interview. All right. Now, remember, and this is something that I've not written on the slide, but a very important aspect. From the time you walk into the interview, whether it is a physical interview or whether it is an online interview, from the time, especially in an offline interview where you're walking in for an interview, the minute you knock the door, you open the doorknob and you walk up to the interview table, just like this. Can you see this? Okay, you walk up to the interview table and you say, good morning, good afternoon, sir. And you sit down there for your interview before you take your permission and sit down. The interviewer has already made up his or her mind whether they want you or they don't want you. And what is that one factor, one main factor which makes them decide? Because these are experienced people and they have already summed you up and decided based on your body language, on the confidence that you do not, and the good manners that you show by dressing up well or dressing up formally for your interview. So a few points that are very important, very important. I would say attend every interview. Take every interview seriously. Prepare for every interview by reading up your books or reading up your notes, reading up about the company or the institute that you are going to. Knowledge of the company to which you're going for an interview is of utmost importance, which means some degree of study about who's the managing director, who's the CEO, all these basic, this basic, and mainly what is the business of the organization? What does that organization do as its main business? Okay, for example, you go to a pharmaceutical company, assuming that they are making tablets, but maybe they're not making tablets. They're making only syrups, right? So this information is very, very important, all right? Polite language, your confidence comes in the way you walk in and never sit down unless you are given permission. Now, for an offline interview, because now most of your interviews are happening offline, ensure that there is a space at home. Ensure that from top to bottom, yes, I know that in your interview, in an online interview, you will not be seen below the torso. But I'm sure Ratandeep will also agree, and he's also equally formally dressed. Dress from the shoes upwards. Even in an online interview, make sure that you wear your shoes and socks and be prepared and sit formally for an interview, because that denotes seriousness. And if you dress formally, you will also feel formal in your interview. Also feel formal in your interview. A few other important aspects which I wanted to tell you, and that is here in the in most cases you are asked to introduce yourself in 1 minute, and this aspect is very important. Practice this. Keep your script ready. Tell us something about yourself. Now, this particular question, nowadays, interviewers will ask you, friend, take me through your resume or take me through your CV. Now, when the person says, take me through your CV or take me through your resume, it does not mean that he or she is asking you to read out the resume or show you the CV like this or online. It means that you are actually telling that person the same thing, introducing yourself in a minute and in a nutshell, putting yourself together. All right. So that's one. Now, 3 important aspects in an interview, which are important, which is what are your strengths. Now, when I say what are your strengths, your interview, your first 1 minute, the way you talk should be able to demonstrate your strengths for the interview. Somebody has put CV format we will give to Ratandeep sir, and he will have it shared with all of you. All right. 3 questions which are primarily asked in a traditional way. Now, look at this. Can you do the job? Will you love the job? And will I like working with you? Now, any interviewer who's asking you some questions is also assessing you in terms of this person whether this person will be a good person to work with. In most cases, they are looking for a culture fit. They're looking for a culture fit. So in terms of temperament, in terms of good person, in most cases, what we feel is because we've gone for the interview, we have got the job. No. Appearing for the interview is the first process in a job. Now, I'll show you 2 slides because we do not have much time here. These 2 slides which I want to show you. Now, what are the attributes which are tested in the personal interview? Your domain knowledge, how you're going to apply that knowledge, your communication skills, just like in a group discussion. What is your eagerness to learn? What is your awareness of things that are happening around you? Are you a team player? Do you know what you want? And how adaptable are you as a person? That much. And now look at this. From a candidate, is that person eager to learn? Like I said again, what energy is that person demonstrating? How respectful are you as a candidate? And from your overall appearance, do you look honest? Do you look authentic? And do you demonstrate through your body language, your integrity and your honesty? All right. What does one does not like from a candidate? Poor personality. If you don't come across as a person who has poise and confidence, if you're arrogant, they may not like it. What mostly they don't like is if you go for an interview saying, can you do something for me, sir? All right, sir, tell me about the benefits. All right, sir, tell me about the salary. All right, sir, will the company provide me a pickup and drop facility? Or do you have a sports complex in your company? That means you're demanding out of the recruiter. That is something that they would not like. And if you go for an interview expecting, I want a good package, I want to make a lot of money, tell me about your salary package, only then let me decide whether I want to join your company. Or, sir, can you increase the package a little bit? These are things which we don't ask in an interview. All right. And therefore we say, first prove to the interviewer that you are the right candidate, and then decide whether you want to ask something out of the interview. All right. All right. So 3 interview answers, which are very, very important, that my strengths are a match for this particular job. I like your organization and I'm passionate about this particular area. And sir, through the way I've spoken, I'm sure by now you would have been convinced that I'm the right fit for this particular job. All right. And therefore, prepare situations, prepare examples about how you have used your strengths. Prepare, give them examples about how your previous role or what you have done earlier is a match for this particular job. And convince your interviewer that you are a good person to work with for this particular job. All right. Keep hobbies with you, because nobody wants an all work and no play making Jack a dull boy. They want people with lots of hobbies. Speak about your hobbies with interest in your interview. All right. And keep one answer ready for why should we take you. Always keep your answer ready. Why should we take you? Keep your answer ready for that. All right. There are some standard interview questions. And if there are any more questions from all of you, I'm willing to take this. Over to you, friends. I don't think we have much time for an interview, but if there is any question, you can always ask me.
We'll have another 2 minutes. Any questions, student, you can please ask in the chat box, or also you can unmute and ask.
Yeah. In fact, that 1 minute, since Ratandeep said 2 minutes, I would like to say if one of you can actually introduce yourself in 1 minute, and I say, tell us something about you, self-introduction. We will take that. Anyone can volunteer. I'll time it for 1 minute. Tell us something about yourself. Come on. This is your chance. No? Okay. Okay. Fine. So then,
ma'am, with your permission,
yeah,
can I start
yes,
now?
yes. Over to you, Ratandeep. Best
Thank you.
wishes, friends. All the best. All the best.
Thank you very much, Vita ma'am, for guiding and motivating all the students for the topic over how to prepare for the group discussion and for the personal interview process. Thank you very much for your valuable inputs, ma'am. Thank you. So friends, I'll be taking 5 more minutes over IBS Business School. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ratandeep Prajapati and I am a Chief Manager for ICFA Business School, taking care of all the events, registration and admissions of 9 campuses of IBS Business School. Okay, so let me tell you what is IBS. IBS Business School is a group of ICFI, where ICFI stands for Institute of Chartered Financial Analysts of India. Okay, at present we have 11 university, 9 B school, 7 tech school and 7 law schools across India, offering various programs like BBA, LLB, PhD and MBA program. So we are into management program since 1995 students. More than 25 years of education in management programs. These are all 9 campuses of IBS. We have campus in Hyderabad. We have campus in Mumbai. We are located in Powai, opposite to Hiranandani Hospital in Mumbai. Apart from this, we have campus in Pune, Gurgaon, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Dehradun, Jaipur, and Kolkata. For all 9 campuses, there is a one single application form, which is costing 1800 rupees students. So before joining any B school student, let me tell you, there is 2 parameters which you need to choose is ranking of the B school and the placement history of that particular B school. Okay, so I'm taking you to the ranking, actual ranking, which is given on the website of Career 360 for IBS Business School, Hyderabad. We had ranked one among top 10 B schools, top 10 university across India. We had ranked on 8th as per the Career 360 ranking, IBS Business School, Hyderabad. We had ranked on 17th place as per the Outlook magazine. As per the Economics Times, we had ranked on 20th rank, ICFA Business School, Hyderabad. Okay. So talking about 2 years MBA program student, we have, see, the first year is a common MBA to everyone, whether you join IBS or any particular B school. The first year is a normal where the course and curriculum remains the same to all the candidates. Then second year onwards, your specialization gets starts. So in IBS Business School, we have 5 specialization to offer. We have finance, we have marketing, HR, IT, and operations. Okay. So taking you to the next slide, that is IBSAT entrance test. The pattern of the paper remains the same as like CAT and MAT and other competitive exams. The best thing about this competitive exam is that we don't have any negative marking, any sectional cutoff into our paper. Okay, so there would be 140 questions, verbal and reading. The major portion is of English, covering 80 questions for 80 marks. And we have quant for 30 questions, 30 marks, and DI 30 marks, 30 questions. So total 140, where you need to score 50% to get qualified for the next round, that is group discussion and personal interview process. So student, this is just a qualifying criteria to get into for the next process, that is GDPI process, because our selection process is a bit different comparing with the other B schools. So you must be knowing that student, to get into any management institute, you need to appear for the competitive exams and interview process, both. Okay, so in IBS, either you can apply based on IBSAT examination, or also you can apply based on your CAT score, NMAT score, and GMAT score. Okay, so our selection process is bit simple, student. We have 100 marks separate for the group discussion and personal interview round, where we keep 100 marks. 50 marks we give directly on the academics of the student, where the faculty will judging how you have performed in your 10th, 12th and graduation, and on the basis of that they will be allotting some marks for your for your academic performance. Okay, so there is separate 10 marks given on your 10th performance, 15 marks for your 12th performance, and 25 marks for your final year performance. Okay, so whatever you have performed, on the basis of you will be going to judge, and you'll get some marks for your academics out of 50, and you have to perform separate 25 marks process for group discussion and 25 marks for your PI performance. Okay, and your overall score will be calculated once you done with your interview round, and on the basis of your score you'll getting selected in any one of the 9 campuses of IBS Business School. There is various cutoff. Like last year, the cutoff for IBS Hyderabad was 90 marks out of 100. For IBS Mumbai, the cutoff was 80 marks. Okay, so see, the cutoff varies year to year, student. Okay, it can change for this year also. What is the criteria, sir? Criteria क्या, eligibility क्या है? Can I apply if I am in final year? Yes, student, if you are in final year and if you have aggregate percentage of 50, yes, you can apply, because we are giving ample of time to the student to submit their final year mark sheets. Okay, so you'll be having November 2022 time to submit your final year mark sheets. Okay, so the students who are graduated or the student who are in final year, both can register for IBSAT test. Now you must be thinking, why should I take IBS as an option? So student, here I would like to share few analysis of CAT and NMAT. आप लोग को बहुत लोगों ने CAT का plan कर लिया है, NMAT का plan कर लिया, SNAP का plan कर लिया, but there are many people who don't know what is the market situation. So here I would like to share some analysis which can help you to have a clarity how you should plan for your MBA admission process. Okay. Now the first thing I would like to share here, the analysis of CAT. So last year, approximately 234,000 applicants who had registered for CAT entrance examination, though there was a pandemic, but huge number of application, I would say, we had received for CAT admission process for MBA. So 234 applicants for 4,000 seats across 20 campuses of 20 campuses of IIM Institute. Okay. So student, if I tell you the fact, they have 50% reservation system into their admission process. That means 2,000 seats are open for the student. If I talk about the conversion percentage, if I consider 50% reservation system, then there is not even 1% chances probability of the student to getting into any one of the 20 campuses of IIMs. Okay. Also, the analysis says that 70% of the students are from engineering background who applied for CAT entrance examination, and 25% are from the background of commerce, 5% from BSc IT and other streams. Okay, so that was something about CAT. I would like to tell you something about NMAT also. See, Nasim Munji Institute of Management have conducts this NMAT test across India, I would say, and approximately 60,000 applicants are there who register for this entrance test. And there is one fact that 30% of the seats are reserved for female candidates. Okay, and they have approximately 1440 number of seats which are there in their top total 5 campuses. Mumbai, they have approximately 840 seats, Hyderabad 120, Bangalore 240 seats, Indore 120, and Navi Mumbai 120 seats. So approximately 1140, you can say 1500 seats where 60,000 applicants applies for this competitive exam. So if I tell you the conversion percentage here, it is approximately 2.5% student. That is the probability to get into NMIMS. And also here I would like to add something, that the major probability of the student who got selected in NMIMS, most of the student had a work experience of at least 3 to 4 years. Okay, that should be noted down. Okay, so that is the reason, student, you must be knowing that that is the reason we are taking a lot of many options. CAT भी हम लोग plan करते हैं, हम NMAT भी plan करते हैं, हम STAP भी plan करते हैं. Though we know that we can take admission with help of any one of the competitive exam also. Okay, but we are creating backup. That is the reason we are giving so many entrance examination. Okay, and there is a habit of Maharashtra candidate who applies for competitive exam. Their major focus is to get into campuses based on CAT or NMAT or CET. These are the top 3 preferences of the Maharashtra candidate who prepares for the MBA admission process. And trust me, student, if you ask your friend also कि आप कौन से B school को target कर रहे हो, ठीक है? So you will be finding the similar kind of options what you are planning for. Okay, so you can imagine the competition level. That is what I wanted to put in your brain, that the competition is huge. Okay, that is the reason we are keeping options, we are keeping backup options option to get admission, not to waste a year. Okay, and hence the IBS Business School becomes one of the favorite option of many of the candidates. The reason behind this, the merit selection process, that the number one point we have mentioned why you choose IBS is merit selection process, where we have 5,000 seats across all our 9 campuses of IBS. Okay, and all the seats are based on merit, where we do not have any single seat reserved for SC, ST, OBC, NRI quota or management quota students. We have all seats based on merit. That means if you are applying to IBS, you're going to get at least one option. On the basis of your performance, you will get selected to any one of the campuses of IBS. Yes, second is placements. I will be going to cover this placements history in the next slide. Before that, I would like to take the faculty. Yes, the faculty is absolutely fantastic in IBS. You can imagine the kind of education you can get it from if you're joining IBS. And yes, the case-based learning approach, which is highly appreciable from many of the students. That is the reason why there are many candidates join IBS, because we have a case-based learning approach student. We have a 100% case-based learning approach into our all 9 campuses, where we give a huge focus, I would say a huge focus on practical learning. Rather than we give focus on a theoretical knowledge part, we give more focus on practical learning student. Yes, that is the reason there are many B schools who refer the case studies made by the ICFAI University. Okay, we have a separate case study centers, which is there in Hyderabad. And there are many B school, many top B school nationally, internationally, who recommends the case studies books for management programs. And there are many B schools who are referring B schools like, I would say, yes, Wellinger, and not many B schools are in Mumbai who are referring the case studies of IBS Business School. SIP, yes, summer internship program student. This is a program where you need to move out and you have to do some projects with the companies. It is just like an articleship, like in CA program, you have to do some practical work experience with the many companies, so that once you complete 14 weeks SIP, then you have to come back to the college and you have to complete your 3rd semester and 4th semester. Okay, we have lot many clubs which can give you a 360-degree development in terms of communication. Lot many activities we do through various clubs. We have more than 26 clubs in Mumbai. We have CMC center, which prepares the students before they attend the final interview process with many top companies. Okay, so the next slide. Yeah, the placements. This is the placement history of the campuses, all campuses. Yes, Hyderabad, if I talk about this year, 2021, the student average placement and IBS Hyderabad is 7.59. That the average placement, we had around 1100 students. And yes, if I talk about top 10% of the student, approximately 110 students are such who got the average placement of around 10.5. And top 25%, approximately 300 students who got the average placement of 9.20. In Mumbai, yes, the average placement is 6.4, and top 10% is 10.08, and top 25% is 8.86. This is the highest placement trend of IBS Hyderabad and all other campuses. We had international placement of 50 lakhs last year offered from various companies, from the Tolaram Group company to various campuses like Hyderabad, three campuses where there are students who got selected in Tolaram Group with the placement package of 50 lakh rupees. These are some top recruiters from IBS. We have Deloitte, HDFC, Amazon, PwC, JP Morgan Chase. Yes, JP Morgan Chase is the highest recruiter from IBS Mumbai, who gave highest placement package of 10.5 to 11 lakh rupees every year. We have HDFC Bank students who take a bulk recruitment from IBS. Approximately 90 students have, on an average, are taken by the HDFC Bank at a package of 6.5. And similarly, ICICI Bank takes 100 plus student at a package of around 6.5 lakh rupees. Okay, so next slide shows that we are having a lot of international recruiters, Tolaram Group, Kimji Ramdas, Sadguru Travels and all. These are few are tie-up with the banks, from where we get the education loan approval for some candidates who are finding difficulties for getting their education loan approval. These are few talks with the alumni. We have 58,000 alumni base across India. These are few important gateways of IBS. The application form is already started, student, from July 1. Okay, the test date is 25 and 26th of December. A cutoff score for IBSAT is 50%, as I've said. CAT is 70 to 80 percentile. It is not yet declared by the institute. Last year, it was 80 percentile. NMAT, it was 150 marks as per last year. We are expecting that they are going to make it around 180 marks this year. And GMAT 550 marks above. That is the cutoff. Either you can apply on the basis of IBSAT, or you can apply on the basis of CAT or NMAT or GMAT, student. Okay. The application cost remains the same whether you apply based on IBSAT, CAT, NMAT or GMAT. Okay. So, student, talking more about IBS in next 2 minutes, we are only the top ranking institute who guide the student for competitive exams and also guide how to crack the interviews and group discussion of various management institute. Okay, we used to keep around 30 webinar on various important topics for any management aspirants, and yes, approximately 10 mock tests series only for the registered candidate. These webinars are already started, student. Okay, and tomorrow we had already scheduled two webinar. One is on this topics of the entrance examination, and also there is one mock test only for the registered students. Okay, also, yeah, student, we are only the institute who guides the students and parents throughout the admission process. This is very, very important, student, where we have got many appreciations from various parents and the students, because there are many B school to whom you are going to register, but you are not going to get the proper guidance from the B school. Okay, so we have approximately 48 to 50 branches across India, from where we are assisting the student from their entrance examination, from their registration to their admission process. Okay, now, students, one biggest advantage what you are going to get if you register for IBS Business School is you are going to have your selection process in month of February. Okay, see, giving entrance examination, student, is not going to tell you, it is not like that. If you are giving entrance examination to any competitive exam, any institute, it doesn't mean that you have to take admission into that particular institute. Okay, or giving interview round, it doesn't mean that you have to take admission into that particular institute. So what I'm trying to put in your brain, if you are getting an opportunity in month of February, this is the first round of interview that by any management institute. I'll tell you, any management institute, we are the first institute who start the interview in the month of February. Okay, so you'll get the opportunity to create a backup in terms of admission. If I talk about, okay, so you'll be getting the opportunity, and it's like a backup. And see, IBS is one of the institute who gives option of withdrawing your fees also. Only there is a deduction of 1,000 rupees out of your total fees payment of admission fees. See, the fees to reserve your seat is approximately 80,000. If you reserve your seat with 80,000 payment, you will also have a chance to withdraw your fees. Suppose you are getting some other B school as per your wish or your choice, you can withdraw your fees also. 1,000 rupees would be deducted as per the UGC rules, and 79,000 would be refunded back to you, student. So इससे अच्छा opportunity आपको और कहीं पे नहीं मिल सकता है. Yes. Now, finally, I would like to conclude that all CPLC students or Preptors students are getting opportunity to have their examination on single day. Also, have opportunity to give their interview round on a single day. Okay, so it is the opportunity for the students who are from Preptors and from CPLC can do the registration, can apply for the B school, IBS Business School. Okay, before 31st of March, if you are registering, you are going to get a single date. All students of CPLC and Preptors are going to get the single day for the interview or your choice of day. Okay, you will get the flexibility. You can select the date, and you all can have a single day window where you can have your interview round. Okay, also you will going to get the nearest test center in Mumbai. Okay, we have center in Borivali, we have center in Mira Road, we have center in Dadar, Thane and Vashi. Okay, these are the 5 centers in Mumbai for giving your IBSAT entrance examination. So you're going to get the nearest test center. Also, you're going to get the common date for the interview round. Okay, if you are doing the registration before 31st of August. Okay, because we need to prepare the list of the student who willing to have a common date for the interview process. This is a special window registration, basically you can say, where you can get a special date, a common date for your interview and a common date for examination and the nearest test center. Okay, the candidate applied to IBS Business School need to confirm in the group where we had made the group of CPLC and Preptors students with your name and the application. Once you do the registration for IBS Business School, yes, you can either go on website ibsindia.org and you can register yourself for IBS Business School. Okay, or you can take the application from the counselors. As I've said, we have 50 branches across India. We have approximately 300 people who are assisting students across India. Okay, so you'll be getting the names and number of the counselor across on your WhatsApp, you can say, and you can give your confirmation and you can get the guidance for your registrations. But still, you have to put in a group with your application number, your name, and the nearest test center you need for your examination if you are applying on the basis of IBSAT. Okay. So also there is one more announcement, student. I take a virtual counseling meet for the students of Preptors and CPLC. Okay, on 30 and 31st of August between 4 to 6 p.m. You can note down the time. Okay, 30th and 31st of August between 4 to 6 p.m. You can pin me in a group and I'll share you the link in the group, Zoom link basically, and where anybody who wanted to have more clarity with respect to more details about IBS with respect to placements, ranking, anything, okay, you can have a virtual counseling meet with me. Okay, so we'll be keeping more number of webinar for the registered student on the topics like how you make a CV. There is one question from one of the students of the CPLC that how to make a CV. We can have the another webinar on this topic, how to make a CV, placement opportunities in various segments like finance, marketing, or HR, and which specialization need to choose if we are taking MBA program. Okay, so that's all from my end, student. Thank you very much for listening us. The application is already started for IBS Business School. As I've said, if you want to get the common date for the entrance exam and GDPI, please do the registration on or before. There is no last date kind of thing. But yes, if you're doing registration before 31st of August, you will get the common date and the nearest test center. Also, we are planning to distribute the hard copy of the mock test paper. Okay, it is going to help you a lot. Trust me, student, if you prepare from that particular materials which we are going to give you after the registration, okay, you will easily going to qualify your examination. And 99% passing percentage is there if you are going to refer that material which I am going to share in soft copy and hard copy, both. Okay, so we are going to distribute the paper from today onwards. Those who are registering, they have to pin me in a group with their application number and their name and test center. They are going to get the hard copy at their home. Okay, that's all from my end, student. Thank you for listening us. Thank you, Vishesh sir, for giving us opportunity to interact with your students, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ratan sir. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye bye. Take care, guys. See you all.